FuzzJockRadio.
I feel like I can't miss right now, man, to be honest. I don't want to jinx myself, but right now I feel like I just can't miss. And, I put a lot of work in, man, so I'm happy it's showing.
Yeah, we're here. We're back. Jameis, thanks for letting the audience in. I really appreciate it. Yeah. C-Dubs.
Oh, okay.
How you doing?
Hello.
You're here
I'm doing
too?
good.
Oh, yeah.
I can hear the audience is roaring it up tonight.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now you can calm down. You can calm down. This
Keep
is
it in
us.
your pants.
We've been here for the 119 episodes now, so it's all good. 7 seasons, 19 episodes means 119 episodes
19
altogether
per season.
Right? Is that the right count? Am I doing fuzzy math or
The episode count is correct.
the episode count's correct. We are on season 7.
Yes.
Episode 19, which is equals to 119 episodes. That's correct.
We ended on 100 last season.
What was wrong? Did I say something that was wrong?
Jameis said it's 19 episodes a season.
Oh, no, not 19
correct.
episodes a season. we had
Are you sure?
However, we did have 100 no, because we have a long season and we have a short season, remember?
But like 100 times 19 would be 7 seasons.
That's some fuzzy math.
Whoa, that is some fuzzy math. But we are not a math
Hello.
podcast, as we all know.
Not yet.
We are a sports podcast, and my name is Fuzzy. Okay. I just think we should just restart here. Here, where is this button? Okay, here it is.
Rewind.
Okay, we're back at the beginning of the episode. My name is Fuzzy. I am one of the hosts of a podcast named FuzzJockRadio. We are a sports podcast, and I have a couple other hosts. One all the way in Minnesota, and their name is...
Jameis.
And we have another host all the way out in California, and their name is...
C-Dubs.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys which way I'd be pointing to point. So this is you, C-Dubs, when I point.
Oh, that's me?
And this is you, Jameis, when I point. And then we have a host all the way from Texas, Minnesota. No, Texas,
Minnesota.
That's not
France.
Is that a thing? Is there a Texas, Minnesota?
In France.
In France? Oh, boy.
Texas, Minnesota.
No.
France.
We have a host all the way down in
1985.
Texas. I want to say Texas, Minnesota, but it's not.
It's so great.
Texas, United States of America. Feather Fanson.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Great. Welcome to the podcast. This is how it
We're
rolls.
happy to have you.
You'll find that
Thanks.
there are a lot of technical difficulties. So don't worry.
Not true.
Just go along with this thing that I got going on here. It's all good.
It's fine because you know what? It feels like Minnesota and Texas today, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
That's where
20
he's getting
degrees.
it from.
Oh, it's 20. Oh, that's cold.
So it feels
Yeah.
like really passive aggressive.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's nice.
Yeah, negative 9 here.
Really fast.
No, negative 11. I'm wrong. But 20 degrees is cold in Texas.
Negative all around.
The way we start this episode is by talking about how we're doing, how the week has treated us. Jameis, how you been doing? What's going on?
I'm doing all right. Today though, something in the air. I think air quality is a little rough. So
Okay.
yeah, something in the cold air just gave me like a sneezing fit, and
Okay.
I've been just dripping like a faucet ever since, like
that's
from my
not
nose.
fun.
That's a simile.
That was just
No,
today, but
a metaphor.
How's the rest of your week? how was the week? If that was today. How was the week?
No.
Same. Okay.
That's all right. It's all right.
C-Dubs, how you been? What's going on, bro?
Good. My parents left the end of last week, so that was nice to have them out. They said they enjoyed listening to the show because they listened last week when we were on. They were upstairs
that's
listening.
right. We called them out. Remember?
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we called them out for sure.
Yeah.
But it was nice having them. I've enjoyed the week. I mean, it's my last few days working at 6 a.m., so I'm ready to go back to sleeping at a normal schedule. So
Glorious.
Well, that's good.
let's get back to that.
Yeah. Get back.
Because I've been
the
tired
normal
as
world.
fuck lately.
Yeah, I mean, getting up at what 6?
Well, 5:30 every day
every morning,
for work.
and then dealing with your parents being there, and then also
That's
working
right.
afterwards, and then dealing with your parents again. I mean,
Well, then
everybody's parents, right?
my wife's parents have moved, so I had to work with that stuff
man,
and
a
a bunch
lot
of
of
other
family
things. So
stuff.
just life comes at you hard when you're waking up early.
Yeah. Drink a lot of coffee.
I remembered something cool.
What's up?
Oh,
That I've been doing I've got this light, those cool lights that like give you vitamin D, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
those
got one of
sunlights.
those to like use in the morning, like right when I wake up. I just kind of like
Good.
lay with the light for a bit.
So that
and
light-
Yeah, those
and
are
that's
the light's giving you the D.
that little light of mine has been making me shine.
It's been
know?
helping. That's good. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Feather,
How about you? Yeah,
how have you been?
Feather.
It's been, pretty much since you've been on here. So do you want to just talk about your last week? Do you want to talk about the last month, your last year? You want to start from the beginning of when you were born? What's going on? How you doing? What's happening?
Well, I was born, and then it went downhill.
Oh boy.
But no, I'm just kidding. Let's see. My last week has been pretty busy with school. I'm not working because I'm doing school full time, so I
Nice.
just sit at home and do schoolwork all day.
Nice. What are you going to school
And
for?
Dietetics and food and nutrition and business and industry.
Oh,
I'm double
I thought you said-
majoring.
I thought you said Dianetics for a second there. I was like, oh, you're gonna run a Scientology church.
Oh
Nope.
my God.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh,
Give
don't
me
do
your
that.
money.
No.
And then you
Yeah, my husband and I just got back from spending 4 weeks in Europe,
Oh, fun. Where'd you
and
go?
that was really cool.
What part of Europe did you go to?
Switzerland, Italy, France, Scotland, and England.
Oh, that's great.
So all of it.
So all of
Yeah,
Europe.
so a lot. Oh, and Germany.
In
Oh
Germany.
wow.
Yeah, so all of Europe, and I wish we were still there because Texas is not so much fun.
Yeah, I've been
Did you speak any of the languages?
of Texas.
I speak French enough that
Oh,
I could
fabulous.
get by.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Good.
Do you speak Texan?
No, I can't understand them,
Are you gonna
Yeah.
move up?
especially
can
the East
understand that.
Texans.
Are you gonna move away from Texas at some point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Good. I really hope
Fuzzy?
you do. Fuzzy?
How was your week?
Well, as we all know, just getting over the whole sickness. Got the COVID this past.
You got COVID?
Yeah, I got the COVID this last week.
How was it for you?
It sucked. not gonna lie. The first.
I had it, and it was like 4 days.
Yeah, mine
Oh,
was
man. Lucky.
Mine was 14 days.
Jeez.
Oof.
Wow.
It didn't. I mean, the symptoms weren't that bad. Like all 14 days, because like I had the shot. I had the booster, the vaccine, the first vaccine, the booster, and then also the bivalent shot. So I'm sure that helped with my recovery time and everything, or making sure that I'm not dead, or at least in the hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucked still. Had a fever for a couple days and just clogged up and just feeling really gross and just didn't want to do anything and just was so tired and just I'm really happy that I'm finally over it, because 14 days of being just tired and sick and just gross is not fun. I do not wish it upon anybody.
Don't do it if you can.
So no matter what people say, it is still out there. So make sure to keep protecting yourself. But we are not a COVID podcast, which we have explained many times before. So
Or a
we
cat
will
podcast.
get into.
Oh no.
Let's talk about cat.
What do we want to talk
Kitty
about
cats.
first? Basketball, football. Let's go football.
Are you ready for some football?
I'm not ready for football to start again because we don't know what the Vikings are going to be doing next year. The Vikings are still out of the playoffs. They are supposed to be going to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Is the Super Bowl next week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now?
Wait, who's in the Super Bowl?
No one yet, but the Vikings were supposed to, but they lost a couple games ago.
I thought they lost their plane tickets. That's what happened.
No.
Well, they're still
they
trying to
lost the
get
game.
tickets to the game.
There is still. No, did they figure it out this weekend? They figured it out.
When we get the Super Bowl will be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh my,
Oh,
Eagles.
Okay. So
Wasn't that last year too?
was that
Didn't the
last?
Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl recently?
That was like 4 or 5
They
years ago,
did,
but
yeah,
yes,
like-
they did.
yep.
Oh,
And then
okay.
Kansas City won it like 3 years ago. So
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's basically what they did last year.
It's a dynasty.
The NFL.
This is how much I know about football.
Well, I mean, it's relevant, and
It's all true.
the NFL is running out of storylines. I think is what's going on.
that's why this year was so weird. They had so many different new crazy storylines. It's like we have no idea, so let's just crazy it up.
You know what's wild is that Tua, the
Tagovailoa.
yeah, the Miami Dolphins quarterback that had a concussion like in the first game or so, and then they put him back in with concussion and showed signs of it, and then got another concussion a couple games later, right?
And then he got another one after that.
Yeah, he's still in the hospital.
What?
Yeah, he's still dealing with it, and
That's horrible.
so bad.
So sad.
I just thought of that right now. But the Vikings
poor
are not.
guy.
The Vikings are not in the Super Bowl, unfortunately. And
Dang it.
how did I watched? I think I watched both of the games. Did I watch both of the games, Charles?
We watched the first one. I think you watched the second one too. I think you were texting me
Yeah.
during it.
Yeah,
we
I
watched
was, I
San
think.
Francisco versus Philadelphia together.
We were watching San Francisco versus the Eagles, and the Eagles
Yes.
won.
Yes, the Eagles won. That was a clusterfuck of a game. The Eagles defense knocked the third quarterback that the 49ers had this year out, causing the fourth quarterback to play for them for the year. Then they knocked that guy out and had to bring the third one back. So they were out of quarterbacks. That game was dunzo.
And they had their fourth string quarterback start. He started playing within the first minute of the of that game, if I remember.
Yeah, pretty early in the game he
Yeah.
was there, and then he got a concussion.
Man.
So many concussions, a lot of injuries.
Yeah, and then the third string quarterback who got taken out of the game because he hurt his elbow had to come back in the game with no feeling in his elbow and just hand the ball off the rest of the game. It was boring and horrible.
Yeah,
It was really
That
sad.
doesn't sound like a fun
Wow.
game. How was that
it's
Cincinnati
terrible.
versus Kansas City game?
Now that was a football game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
by definition.
where they
By
throwing the ball?
definition, that was a gridiron football game in America. That was a closer game. I mean, you have Joe Burrow, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, versus Patrick Mahomes, who is probably the actual best quarterback in the game right now,
The Kansas. So
battling it out.
Joe Burrow is the Philadelphia
Cincinnati Bengals.
No, the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heather, does Joe Burrow the name Joe Burrow does not sound like a football name? Like somebody that
I've never heard that name in my life.
well, that's a football name. I just have this thing about names, and sometimes names sound like that guy has got to be a football player.
That's a football guy.
that person's a baseball player. That like to the point of thinking that my nephews, they have pretty strong names. I think that they're going to be probably a pro wrestler. One of my nephews is going to be a pro wrestler. I can see it. But Joe Burrow, absolutely,
That's a football name.
that's a football name. He has to win the
Joe
Super Bowl,
Cool.
but he's
I guess I
Joe
can see
Cool.
that.
But he did not win.
Nope.
Patrick Mahomes, who is possibly the GOAT of quarterbacks, surpassing Tom Brady at some point, do you think?
I mean, the guy's been in the league for 5 years. He's been to the AFC Championship game 5 times, and he's gone to the Super Bowl 3. That's better than Tom Brady did at this point in his career.
And he's only like, what, 29?
Yeah, I don't even think he's 29.
Yeah.
So since he's started playing professional American football, he's never not gone to the AFC Championship.
Yes, and all of them have been at home, like at his stadium. So he's that good that he hasn't even played an away game for the AFC Championship game yet.
Wow.
Pretty fucking good.
That's all he's done.
And this game, he had a hurt ankle, like a high ankle sprain, and he still dominated the whole game. And at the end of it, it was tied, and there were 30 seconds left. Patrick Mahomes did what he did. You can't give him any amount of time. He went down the field. They were able to kick a field goal. They won the game. Boom. Game over.
I'm convinced the Vikings should trade Kirk Cousins for him, right?
Yeah, that sounds
Let's
like
get
a
Patrick
great idea.
Mahomes.
It would be a good fit. His father is a Minnesota Twins legend.
Correct.
Who? Whose father?
Oh, what was his name? Mahomes' father.
Patrick Mahomes' father is...
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes Sr.
Is a what?
Twins legend Patrick Mahomes
Twins?
Sr.
What? Yeah, you should bring
Pat
him
Mahomes.
back. Yeah, bring him back. Bring him back to Minnesota.
That's definitely more of a baseball name than a football name.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He should play for the Twins.
Yeah,
Should we...
it's a good idea.
So it's going to be Kansas City versus Philadelphia Eagles?
Yep.
And if Philadelphia Eagles win, like we were predicting, it's the start of the end of the world. Is that
It's not
right?
good.
Is that still a thing?
That's right.
That's still a thing, right?
That could happen.
Yeah. The end of the
So
world is
Heather,
on its
wait,
way.
to fill you in on that, Heather, we have this theory that if all the Philadelphia teams go and win the championships, it's the 5 mascots of the apocalypse. So, or
Who's all
4
the
mascots of the
Philadelphia
apocalypse,
teams?
whatever. Philadelphia Phillies went to the championship game and lost.
Yep, so that didn't work.
Philadelphia's
Philadelphia
soccer team
Eagles
almost went to the championship game. The Eagles are in the championship game, and the Flyers have a chance to go to this could happen.
So,
But luckily they can't all win. So the end of the world's not just yet, but it could be starting.
did the soccer team lose?
Yeah, they lost.
So if maybe we have it wrong. If they all of them lose, then it starts.
The basketball team has to lose too then.
Yeah,
So,
76.
yeah. So maybe if they all lose,
Yeah.
then maybe it's the world's going to become better. Well, who knows?
Well, I'd worry about their fan base. Their fan base.
Yeah,
is
Philly
just
fans are
wild.
pretty bad.
They came to Minnesota during Super Bowl one time, and they just destroyed Minneapolis.
Yeah,
I
that
saw-
was on It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
It was?
That's how I know that they went to the Super Bowl.
Wow. Oh,
They
what a
they actually
good show.
showed. I saw a bunch of videos of the fans celebrating after the NFC Championship game this weekend when the Eagles won, and they greased the street poles so people can't climb them because that's how bad it is there. That people literally
Wow.
police go out and grease up the street poles. It didn't matter. They climbed them anyway, and they were climbing on the top of bus stations, like bus stands. And I saw numerous videos of people falling through the plastic roofs because there were like 10 people on the roof of it, and all of a sudden it just gave way. And they just ate shit. And everyone's just like, yeah, party. It's like, dude, that people just got fucking hurt. But no, they don't care. They're all drunk and celebrating an Eagles win. So I don't know.
Wow.
They're fucking Eagle fans.
If they all lose, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's hope for the best.
So we're rooting for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Go KC.
Is that it, Charles? KC?
Absolutely. I'll be wearing
Okay.
my KC jersey for that
Okay.
game.
Thanks for giving us a team to root for.
FuzzJockRadio. The NBA theme, here's an idea. It goes like this.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are on a tear. They just won a bunch of different games. It's the Ant Show right now. Anthony Edwards, like we spoke about last week, has just been playing phenomenal. Anthony Edwards is our current rookie of the year, even though he's a rookie last year. I still consider him a rookie. And Gobert has an update that his foot feels better, so he's been playing as well.
Oh,
And-
this is
good.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Do you think you think Ant's playing better because he's got a sponsorship deal with the new Ant-Man movie and he's
Yeah.
trying to get the name in the news?
that could be. Our friend Robert down the street. Remember Robert? We should have him as a
Robert down the block.
yeah.
No, not Robert down the
No, it's
block.
not
Our street reporter Robert.
Yeah, he said that it was because Anthony Edwards' new girlfriend was on the sidelines, and that's why he's
Oh,
been
that could
playing really
be.
well. So,
Showing some love.
27-26.
You can't stop love. True love.
So
They're
that
over
means the
500.
Timberwolves are in the play-in game. If the playoffs started now, they'd be playing for a chance to be in the playoffs.
Oh, cool. When do the playoffs start, or when does that start?
I think that's in April or May.
Okay, so that's still quite,
Still time.
Still
but
some
hey,
time.
Yeah,
Well,
they'll
I'll tell
be
you
coming
this.
when we come back after winter break, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After our break for this next season, we'll have an update on that. But I will say this: I listened to the radio out here in LA, and they're constantly talking Lakers. How the Lakers are doing.
Mm-hmm.
All they're talking about is how they want the Lakers to at least be in the position to be in the play-in game, and they are not. So hey,
No.
we're doing better than the Lakers,
That's
and they
great.
got LeBron. So
That's great. So
you know,
I was watching the game the other day, and the Timberwolves are, we all know that they're currently being sold from Glenn Taylor.
Heather, did you know that?
I did not know that.
The Mankato resident, Glenn Taylor, is
Glenn down the block.
Glenn down the block is selling the Timberwolves. And he's
wow.
selling it to a dude that I don't remember his name, and then baseball player Alex Rodriguez. And
Oh.
A-Rod is what they call him, who's
Correct.
had many controversies
Yeah,
in the
J-Lo's
past.
ex, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, he's going to be the
So
new
you're a
owner
sports
of
expert.
the Timberwolves. Everybody is worried here in Minnesota that as soon as the transaction happens, even though it's in writing saying that he can't move them, we're really worried that he's going to close down the franchise. And
Where would he move
them.
the Timberwolves to?
Another market, like Seattle wants a team again. Like
People are also thinking
Oh,
Florida
weird.
would get another team for some reason.
Yep.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Especially since California already stole the Lakers.
Yeah,
Right.
we did. We stole them.
And then
by gunpoint.
Texas
Yeah.
stole the
Dallas Stars.
Yep, the hockey
You
team.
have the North Stars.
Hockey.
Taking our stars and our lakes.
So,
Jeez.
yeah.
Don't take our wolves.
So
All our
that's-
wilderness.
And we have a team that's, about 500 right now, but there are a lot of them are brand new players, and a lot of them are starting to mesh, and we know that they're not going to be leaving anytime soon. So currently we have a team that the future looks very bright, and it would suck for them to leave.
Yeah, and
Right.
the record they have right now doesn't reflect these players' talent because almost none of these games have been played with all of them on the court.
Yeah.
So we've got six amazing players, and almost no games have been played with all of them in it. So
Yeah.
I have a question. I think
boy,
I was watching the game the other day, and I noticed I don't know what Ant's girlfriend looks like, so I don't know if she was on the sideline or not, making him play well. But I did notice somebody else was sitting right next to the bench, like 2 seats down was Glenn down the block, the current owner of the Timberwolves.
Well.
We all know what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz question of the week.
It brings me to the Fuzz question of the week. The Fuzz question of the week is when I ask the hosts a question, and then they answer the question with their answer. It can be incorrect, it could be correct. Who knows? It's an opinion, right? But we won't extrapolate on it. We'll just get your answer and we'll move on. We won't ask you why you feel this way.
explanation with no extrapolation.
Explanation with no extrapolation. And the Fuzz question of the week this week is,
Yes.
do you think it makes the Timberwolves play better or worse to have the owner of the team sitting right next to them? C-dubs.
I guess Better? You wanna show-
Jameis.
Yeah, better. I'll say better.
Jameis.
It doesn't matter.
And Feather. If you had the owner of the team sitting right next to you, would it make the team play better or worse?
I could see it both ways.
And
But
that-
since
and-
he's selling them, I'm going to say it doesn't matter.
And that was your.
Buzz question of the week.
So yeah, that's been going on. 27 and 26. Hockey.
I wonder if this is his first games he's been to in a while too.
I asked Robert, and he said that Glenn sits next to them pretty much every home game.
Since the beginning of the team.
Yeah, every home
He's
game.
there.
He's there. I mean, that's
And when they do away games,
that
he's
is
sitting at the Target Center.
that is an owner
himself.
that's appreciative of his business. Shows that he makes sure that he's I mean, he owns a lot of businesses. I'm sure he's a great boss, right? I mean, I don't work for him, so I don't know.
I mean, if you had free tickets, wouldn't you go too?
There's a lot. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Would you sit next to the team, or would you sit in the box, or I would sit in the crowd. That's what I would do.
Yeah, me too.
I would sit in the
I'd want
crowd
to sit
and
next to Mark Rosen.
give things away to people. That'd be great.
Mhm.
If I was an owner of a sports team, that's what I would do. I would sit in the
Like
crowd.
Mark
mean, I'm-
Cuban.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Gary,
Dallas Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
Great owner.
Texas.
I mean, I'm not even an owner of the Dodgers, and I give away Dodger crap to anyone who's a Dodger fan out here all the time. Heck, we
Yeah.
just had a cable guy come through, and I gave him bobbleheads because I love giving people stuff to make them happy with their sports
Me
team.
too. I just give people banana bread and things though.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
Great. That's a great gift. I give away banana bread too. I know how good of a gift that is.
You two should swap banana breads.
I was just going to say that.
We should. Do we have any more NBA talk, or should we go on to NHL? NHL?
Let's play hockey.
The Wild are currently 27, 17, 9, and 58. They are currently on a 2-game winning streak.
yes, that is true.
Is it a streak if it's only 2 games?
Well,
Not really. It's more consecutive.
Hopefully they can,
Backs.
hopefully they can
One
win the next
consecutive
game, and
game.
then they can do 3-game winning streak. That'd be great.
Yep.
So have we been watching the games?
Oops.
Oops, no. I mean, I haven't watched.
My parents left. I didn't watch any hockey
I
without
haven't watched
them.
any hockey at all.
All I know is they're still doing fine.
27,
I
17,
look
9,
forward
and
to that.
58. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got points.
Yeah, they got
They got the
58
point.
points. I don't know what that compares to, but we'll move on to the next
think-
topic. Bally Sports.
I think we're still in third.
Third place
So,
in the Central.
So the big news with the Wild right now, honestly, is not their record. It's the people that are placing their broadcasting. That's what it's called. Broadcasting the show or the game on TV. Bally Sports looks like they're preparing for bankruptcy. Did you?
Yeah, that's right.
I guess
That is-
gambling isn't going
that's-
too good.
Well, did any of us read the article that I put in there? Because I didn't. I just read the title.
Dude, but that article's been everywhere.
It is, and because it's happening.
What's
Yeah.
happening to 3 teams or 4 teams? This is going to affect 4 different teams. The Lynx, the Twins, the Wild, and the Timberwolves will all be affected by this if anything happens.
It's
Because they
one of-
broadcast all those games.
So I'm not a financial person, and this is definitely not a financial podcast. So I don't know what any of this means, but it says that there's a restructuring of Sinclair Broadcast floundering Diamond Sports Group. We'll see its largest creditors become owners, and the RSN's pro team partners bracing for a huge financial hit. And
Oh, so okay, keep going.
from some of the stuff that I read was that I did read a little bit of it. Now that I remember, it's and some of it is that it's something that these big businesses do to get around shit. And then they're selling off their bankruptcies, and so they knew going in to buying these sports broadcasting packages that they were going to be going bankrupt anyway before they did it. And then so they restructure it so then certain parts of the companies or the subsidiaries don't get hit. And it's just all like a washing of hands type of thing for bankruptcy.
It's to protect Sinclair.
Yeah.
Because Sinclair is the umbrella. And they don't want Sinclair to take a hit. So they're taking the hit through Bally. Because Sinclair owns a bunch of media outlets. I would assume that's what's going on.
And so then which means this is a lot of money leaving teams, right? Because like teams relying.
They're still contracted to get paid the money.
But there's TV right revenue.
Yes.
From their deals. With 19 sports RSNs will face severe belt tightening since rights deals with them can be terminated amid the restructuring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that changes it.
So, like, the Twins could possibly lose a lot of money.
Damn it, Pohlads, they're going to use that against us.
While they just spent a lot of money on they just spent a lot of money on some new players, right?
Yes.
And
that's
God. Why
baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
It's not fun again in Minnesota because Bally Sports Network is possibly leaving. Twins are going to be losing a lot of money, and there's going to be a lot of restructuring going on with the Twins. What do you guys think of that?
That's not good because, again, the Pohlads. So, Heather, the Pohlads are the owners of the Twins. They're a family that the father owned it originally and then passed it on to the kids. And they don't really care about baseball. They just look at it like a business. So they only put in so much money as they get so much back. So they always know they'll get a profit. If they only spend so much money, they'll always make a profit back and they'll never lose money, even though there's tons of money that be made in baseball and to be spent, they only spend so much.
They make sure they're always making money.
They always want to make sure they're in the green, as where some baseball teams would rather try and win a championship and maybe lose money for a year and make it up later. Pohlads never take that risk because they don't fucking care. They just want to have the business.
They know if they don't do anything, they're still making money.
Exactly. They could have a losing record and a terrible team and they'll still profit because of the TV deal, the ticket sales, the merchandise sales. Doesn't matter. They're always going to be in the green.
Up until this year, when they spent a ton of money on two different players, some almost record-breaking deals with Buxton.
Yeah, pretty close.
And so they got two really good players by finally breaking their mold and spending a lot of money. And now a lot of that guaranteed money that they used to have is going away, possibly more than likely going away because Bally Sports is going bankrupt, the people that are broadcasting them on TV.
And TV rights are the main revenue for people who don't push their team to make them money.
Oh, man.
They're guaranteed that money. They have to air the games, so they have to get that in their pocket. But if this happens, they have to make a new contract. Someone else might want to pay them less for the games. They have to take whatever they can get because they have to air the games.
So now the Pohlads are...
Wow, their plan is really backfiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think it'll be fine.
You know what would have been nice?
Well,
if we could have gone to the Twins Fest, which just happened last week.
Oh yeah, that was just this. Just last weekend. Twins Fest happened.
Twins Fest happened this last weekend. I'm hopefully the listeners out there, the FuzzJockers, were able to go to the Twins Fest
or Twins Caravan.
Well, I was going to get to that next. That would have been
sorry.
Yeah,
the Twins Fest would have been was different than the Caravan. At one moment, I was kind of mixing them up last couple episodes. I was saying Twins Fest when I meant Caravan. But the Caravan is still going on, right?
Well, it does have one more date, I believe. I think tomorrow is their last date on the Caravan.
No.
They'll be...
I got it right here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And?
Yeah, Leg 3 goes until Tuesday, January 31st.
That's tomorrow.
And there's some...
No. So the Leg 1 just ended last Wednesday. which was here in Mankato, which we missed, and I was sick. And then leg 2 starts Tuesday, January 24th. They'll be in Minneapolis and St. Cloud, and then also Fargo, North Dakota. And then leg 3, January 29th, they'll be in Welch, Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Rochester on the 30th. And then 31st, they'll be in Rochester again, and then Mason City, Iowa.
Okay, so yeah, today's the 30th.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you're not this is like the third person I've dealt with today who did not know that January's over.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's okay, and I was one of them.
Okay, well, you're correct, James, and I'm sorry.
Good job.
I thought that we had another week. Yeah, I thought we had another
No,
week.
unfortunately. Yeah,
So-
but I hope a bunch of fans got out to the places that they did those. I think I saw one local that might have been up at the Twins Fest because I noticed a person in a store wearing one of the new M design caps. And have you seen these with the M and there's like a
Yes.
star or a diamond like right above it?
Yeah.
They look really sharp.
Yeah, they do. The new
they
uniforms look really good.
They rebranded every Twins element for this season. So the old M you're used to, Heather, or the TC you're used to seeing,
Yeah.
they're completely redone. They're new designs of both.
The T looks
How weird.
different. It's weird when you first see it. However, when I saw one of the players, Buxton, wearing the full uniform with the different colors, like it's like a baby blue. There's a baby blue, kind of
Yeah, it goes back to the old school days of the Twins.
it looks really sharp. Like the uniform looks, they look really sharp. I really like the black and white ones. Yeah.
I like the baby blues. I think that goes back to like the Harmon Killebrew days.
And
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a really old school thing. I mean, the baby blue also used to be Lakers, Minneapolis Lakers as well. So I think that was like the old school Minneapolis colors.
Is spring training happening soon?
It happens at the end of February, early March. So
Yeah.
we're getting close to baseball.
Yeah, we're getting really close to it, and there's been some takeaways from Twins Fest to have some. I think there's a lot of optimism on the team for spring training to start. It sounds like Jorge Polanco and Kenta Maeda are completely ready to go for spring training. There's
Yes.
no further injury healing or like working up to it. Like they're good to go.
good.
Fantastic.
That's good.
And Kirilloff is reporting like a lot of improvement on his wrists for his swing, and doctors are stating they're expecting that to keep improving. So
Where's spring training?
Florida.
Florida.
They are in the Grapefruit League
yes,
because there's a Grapefruit League and a Texas or a Cactus League. Sorry,
And what's
Cactus League's in Arizona. Grapefruit is in Florida.
And who's on the Grapefruit League?
So there is no rhyme or reason specifically to who's in which leagues. I mean, for the most part, the Eastern teams are in the Grapefruit and the Western teams are in the Cactus, but it's not perfect. Like I think the White Sox are in the Cactus League, but they're an Eastern team technically.
Interesting.
So
And this has probably been something that's
They were
been
grandfathered
established
in.
a long time
yeah,
ago.
it's like for the
Baseball's
most
been-
part, East and West.
Heather, did you know that baseball's been around for a very, very long time? Like since the 1900s?
Yes.
Baseball celebrated its 100th anniversary, I think, 3 or 4 years ago as the MLB. That's how long that specific
how
league's
long?
been around.
wow.
100 years.
100 years.
Baseball must be older than football.
American football, correct.
Yeah.
Canadian football, not so much.
Canadian football is, I think, the same age as American baseball
No,
because I think it's 109, 110 years old. So that would be about maybe even older than American baseball.
Were you into baseball?
Did you know there's
Heather?
Canadian football?
Yes.
Are you into baseball?
And I
Heather?
know that there's European football too, or
What?
anywhere outside of the U.S. football, which is not as old.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also football.
football.
Or
I'm talking about soccer.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, that's
football.
footy.
Yeah.
Footy or football has been around forever.
Have you gone to a soccer game at all?
Yes, I went to one in Paris.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Oh, that's fun.
Wait, don't we have a sounder for that?
Yeah, they call
What?
it football.
Oh, the football sounder?
Yeah.
The football.
Yeah, jouer de football.
Open wide for some soccer.
How was where Italy?
In Paris.
Paris.
We saw Paris Saint-Germain against Strasbourg City.
How was that?
It was really cool to watch a soccer game and be like as close as we were. We were like right behind the goal.
Oh,
and
that's
very,
my favorite
very
place
close.
to be.
Like we were like in the front row of the people who didn't pay to be on the ground.
Oh, fun.
So really close. And so that was really neat. And I mean, I understand the rules of soccer, so I can watch it without necessarily having to hear the commentators.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I can follow it. But yeah, it was really fun to watch. It was action packed.
Yeah.
Was there scoring in your end?
Yes. And what's the guy's name on PSG? He was just in the World Cup and he was there. I can't remember his name. Oh, Mbappe. We got to see him play. Mbappe.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
How was so anytime I see soccer games, especially across the pond, the crowd,
the
fans are
so
wild.
Yeah. So I also went to a soccer game in Dallas, and it was Dallas against Minnesota.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, nice.
So I had a Minnesota shirt on, and it was not as fun. In Paris, there was like this separate section for the Strasbourg fans that they were like enclosed with a net so that if they threw anything, it wouldn't go into the field.
They also have rules where they will be, I think they're either let out first or after the rest of the crowd so that no one beats them up.
Yeah, especially in England, because
Yes.
in the London, like the England leagues, I learned all about the different leagues. It's very confusing because like there's the city leagues and national and I don't know what else, but Premier
League
yeah,
and Championship League.
Yeah, and they get real rambunctious in
They're called
England.
hooligans.
It's like
Green Street Hooligans. I loved that movie.
Hooligans and Hood Boys.
It's a
throwback.
It's like a way of life for them, right?
Yeah.
They go to the pub and they hang out with their pals and get real drunk and rowdy, and
it seems like it would be fun to be in that crowd. It's not so much like that at the U.S. soccer games. I don't feel like.
You should come to an LAFC game because they are that style.
Oh, really? I think that it's like slowly migrating over here to get, because people want to, they want that community. They want to feel that way.
That's what I was going to ask too. Is I think it has more to do with the, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems like the European soccer leagues, like people have way more of a personal connection with.
They do, and I learned why that was.
Why is that?
It's because like the city leagues, like Premier Leagues, like say that there's Manchester United, they have the Premier League, the big guys or whatever, but it goes all the way down into like kids teams that can be also on Manchester United, and they'll wear like the same jerseys and everything. So it really like develops that sense of like loyalty.
Yeah, loyalty, that ownership.
So
yeah,
LAFC has that.
That's interesting.
So years before the LAFC existed, they had a lower league of soccer that existed that had Mexican players and American players from the California area who developed together and then were elevated into the existence of the team when it started, because it only started like 7 years ago. I've been following it its entire existence, and because it happened right when I moved out here, and that helped. So there were local people, like there are children who started, or like teenagers who started in that league, who are just premiering now, who are becoming stars for LAFC, and so people are really behind them. And then also there's a large Hispanic community here. So we have some of the biggest stars from the Mexican teams on LAFC as well.
Awesome.
So that helps with the connection. of like you've got a
that's really
star
cool.
and you've got the local star. And then they also
That's tight.
they built a community base before they ever played a game. There was 7 different groups or alliances in LAFC.
Oh yeah.
So before they ever played a game, all these communities existed. They like I'm part of the 42 Originals, which is 420, 420. The
Oh, I
42
get it.
Originals is my group. But there's the surveys, the Cuervos, and the
Yeah, so my husband, he's in an alliance for the Dallas team called American Outlaws, and they get to meet up, they get T-shirts, and they get to
scarves
I don't
probably
know,
too.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Fun.
It's very communal. It's an interesting culture.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask one thing about Dallas quick. Do they
Okay.
have a supporter section that is ruckus, or is it just all the same in the stadium everywhere?
Well, the game that I went to, I went to 2 games. I went to one that was against Austin, and the Austin fans, there was a ton of fans from Austin, and they had songs and
Yep.
drums and all kinds of stuff. And I did not notice that about the Dallas
Okay,
fans.
so
It was not
LAFC has that. We have songs, we've got chants, we have dances.
Minnesota FC has it too.
Yeah.
Yes, they're
Not as
they're
big, I don't
copying after they built their new stadium. They copied LAFC's mold,
Which probably copied it from Europe.
European.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Who copied
what it
it
is-
from Minnesota?
So what their
Minnesota.
supporter section is in LAFC is called the 3252, which is how many spots there are in the supporter section that you can
cool.
fill in. And there's no seats. You cannot sit down in that section. It's all standing, and it's as close
wow.
as it can be to the goal. And so the reason they have no seats is because you have to dance during one of the songs. There's a specific dance that everyone
That's
links arm in arm and
adorable.
dances left and right and jumps up and down and all this stuff for. And so then that's become the new mold for every team. And when the new stadium in Minnesota was built, they did that with their supporter section. So
Okay.
now they have the same thing that LAFC has, and that's copied from the European leagues as well. But having that changes the entire concept of how soccer is looked at when you go to a game in America. That
Yeah, I
changes the
agree.
entire feeling. I went to the supporter section a bunch of times in LAFC. I've been to playoff games, I've been to playoff wins, playoff losses of all sorts of sports. Nothing compares to supporter section soccer. Nothing. Can't even get close. Nothing does.
We should do that one of these days, James. We go up to a soccer game and be in the supporter section.
Supporters?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
let's be
a friend
supporter.
who goes all the time. I should link you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Why not? Why not? Right?
Do it.
Heather,
Yeah.
also, you're not just into soccer, but you're also into acro yoga.
Yes.
What's
So,
why,
yeah.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know.
What is
Wait.
it? What is
Agro yoga?
Is it
Acro, like acrobatic.
acro?
Not
Oh,
like
okay.
aggravated?
No.
No, not
Or
angry.
like-
So it's an
not angry.
Instagram sport.
Agricultural yoga?
It's an Instagram
The
sport.
only
What do
reason you do it and get good at it is to make cool videos to put on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
and to look cool. Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I've seen some of those videos. You do look cool.
That-
So how do you get
I know, I
into
look
doing
really
that?
How did I get into it?
Mm-hmm.
I was in Minneapolis, and there was a group that met up and had classes, and a friend brought me to one. And I think I just kind of had a natural ability, so I kept going. And I do it here too in Dallas, and pretty much every major city has an acro group,
Okay.
and it's really big in California, like huge.
What?
But
What is it?
it's partner yoga. So there's different types.
Okay.
You can do standing, which is where you do you have a base person. Either way, you have a base person and then a flyer. So I would be the flyer.
Okay.
And you work as like a team to do different lifts and drops and things like that, or
Like
handstands on somebody else's hands.
Okay, so I'm kind of imagining some type of like gymnastics type of thing, or
Yeah,
like
it's like
how
a
cheerleaders
mixture
would like
of
throw a
like
lady up.
gymnastics. Yeah, it's like a mixture of like gymnastics and cheer and yoga and um yeah, I don't know. The stuff that I like to do involves a base laying on the ground, kind of like when you're a little kid and you do the
Airplane.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I do that,
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
and then I spin around.
Okay. And then you probably like
Wow.
do a handstand at some point and
Yeah,
do
and
different
flips.
poses. And that's got to take a
Yeah,
lot of strength to be able to do that, and a lot of, I'm guessing, balance, right? Stability.
it is. It's a lot of stability and core strength and like momentum that you need to get going.
Oh,
And
sure.
it's really fun though.
Yeah, I bet.
You
That's
do
really cool.
choreographed like
Yes, actually,
parts.
that is called a machine. So people will make up machines and they'll share them on the internet, and then you can like see one and be like, I want to learn that. And it's like a choreography. And so then you go with your bass and you practice until you get it. And there's different ones that are really well known. Like one's called pickpocket, and like everybody learns it.
That's
Huh.
fun. Do you do that?
Oh yeah.
Um, do you do that with your husband, or do you have a partner when you go, or how does that work?
Um, it's kind of weird. Like you can have one partner that you really are well like calibrated with. Steven has tried it before, but I usually go and you kind of like sorry, you go to like what's called a jam. It's so corny, but it's
I
a
love it.
jam
Sure.
and whatever. And you can there's just like bunch of bases and flyers, and you just kind of like
You just jam
ask,
together.
do you want to try this thing? Do you want to try this thing? And if you get to know people, so you know their levels. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I can work with people who are beginners, but I prefer to work with more advanced people because it's more fun.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that sounds like a lot of fun. Acro
I love
yoga.
that it's
Yeah.
called a jam.
Yeah.
That's perfect for it
thanks.
because you're jamming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's not
fucking
like
cool.
you're just going there to be rigid and just be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be here." You're there
Well,
to
it's such a collaborative
jam
thing
together
too,
and be together. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
by nature.
It's a big
So-
community.
I would have to
That's
say this
awesome.
fits into what we say about sports. So I would guess looking around and communicating is very important when it comes to acro yoga.
Yeah,
That's
even just
that's
communicating with like body movement.
Oh wow, yeah, I suppose because you're not like just sitting there yelling at each other, "Hey, throw me up." Or like when emotion's gonna happen, like you feel that
Yeah,
motion happening, and you have to go with it and know what to do.
yeah. And if you're a really good flyer and you are calibrated with your base, and I've done this before, you can just kind of flow, and you can just like be moving without them telling you what to do. You just know what's going to happen,
Sure,
which is really fun.
that's a lot
That's
of
awesome.
fun. It reminds me of wrestling, like pro wrestling. They have a lot of choreographed move sets that once one of the wrestlers starts getting into one of the a couple of that move set, then the other wrestler, without even talking, knows where to go
Oh,
and
that's interesting.
Mhm.
when to tumble
It makes me
or when to jump.
I didn't know
makes
that.
it makes me think right away of like so there's a lot of wrestlers who have incorporated the luchador style of wrestling, which is more flipping and acrobatics. And so a common thing, like I'm sure you remember, or maybe you don't, but you ever heard of Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
okay.
course.
So he had the Stone Cold Stunner where he'd kick you in the stomach and pull your head down, and that's a stunner, right?
Yeah.
That was his move. So now people who've incorporated the luchador style, this wrestler Darby Allin, he does a stunner, but what he does is he gets elevated in the air like they're gonna body slam him. So he's up in the air like this, and he does a flip in the air on their shoulders, and he pulls them
What?
down where he does a stunner then, like Stone Cold did, but without kicking them in the stomach. It's all aerial, and he lands
You need
down.
to send me a video of this.
We
Yeah,
will show you some
That
Darby
sounds like
Allin.
acro.
Well,
Yeah, it
and then
reminds
this
me
other
of
guy,
that.
Orange Cassidy, is a very acro based wrestler. He's also a wrestler who tries to be too cool and doesn't wrestle, but when he does, it's very acrobatic.
Oh wow, I love that.
I think
There's
you'd really
a
like
lot
both
of
of
high
these
flyers.
I need
wrestlers.
to learn
going
some
on.
of those moves and work it into my standing acro practice.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
man, you should see some of their flips off the ropes and
Oh,
everything
yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is
People
great.
be flying.
Speaking of which, Cody Rhodes of AEW fame, who transferred over to the WWE recently. It's WWE still, right? It's not WWF again.
Yeah, it's WWE. Well, hang on, Heather, do you know? I know you know what WWE is, but have you ever heard of AEW?
No.
AEW
So-
is
I
a
did go to one WWF show.
actual
one time,
F.
Tell us about that.
Whoa.
I cannot remember anything about it. I was like 10 years old. I remember there was one wrestler who had like an American flag, like shorts. And that's all that stands out to me.
That was the Iron Sheik.
No,
Was that
That-
here?
it's-
It was WWF. I remember that.
Was that here in town or was that in the cities?
Yeah, it was in Mankato.
Yeah.
Nice.
We just learned through our group that there was a big presence of pro wrestling in Mankato during that time and prior, and our blind ref Alex, he found articles of how one of the big WWF podcast commentator guys, Cornette, bought all the rights from a Mankato guy of all the old school wrestling, pro wrestling, old school pro wrestling, like
history and magazines.
history and magazines, and all these cards, like trading cards and stuff. Like this guy in Mankato owned a big chunk of pro wrestling history, like the 1930s and 60s wrestling, right? And
Oh, wow.
one of the big names one of the big names today bought it all from him. And I remember this guy. He used to go to. Or he still probably still does. Goes to Choppers and does karaoke. His name is Norm, and he's this really old dude.
He sings Delilah.
Do you guys remember
No,
Bandana
how's
Brewery?
That?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember Banana Brewery.
Bandana Brewery, I remember.
They used to do like local wrestling shows there.
Yes, they
Of
did.
pro wrestling.
Yes, they did. I remember that. I never
Just
went
like
to any
I
of
don't
them,
know who the people were, but
Yeah. Probably, I would guess First Wrestling probably was involved in that. They're the big Minnesota indie
Yeah.
network now. First Wrestling, yeah. Because so back in the day, Minnesota wasn't the top territory, but was one of the major territories in the wrestling world up until the 1980s when Vince McMahon started buying up all the talent. So that's why Minnesota has a deep history in wrestling history. Like, we're really throughout history is Minnesota.
I had no idea.
Like Hulk Hogan, before he was purchased exclusively by the WWE, used to wrestle in the AWA, which was the Minnesota Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
And then the WWF, WWE, Vince McMahon came around and pretty much
Poached everyone.
Poached all the wrestlers from all these independent companies, and basically made it so people thought that WWE was the only pro wrestling company in the United States, which was not
I
true.
really did think that.
Yeah. I mean, I did too until more recently. And then about 3 years, so there at the same time, there during this entirety of WWE, there still has been smaller companies that house thousands of wrestlers. Like there's lots and lots of wrestlers out there in the United States, and a couple of the independent wrestlers, they called them independent wrestlers, about three years ago.
Yep.
Decided to create their own wrestling company.
That's for wrestlers by wrestlers.
That's basically for wrestlers by wrestlers. They're wrestlers that are creating their own wrestling company, and they called it AEW, All Elite Wrestling, and got TV promotions and have been able to go against WWE programming. And they've done so well that they've beat the WWE in ratings a couple times, and it's pretty awesome. And we've just kind of followed.
They've been doing the poaching too.
Now they're
Yeah.
but they used to go head to head with one of the WWE shows on Wednesday nights. And WWE actually changed the night that their show is run because they could not even come close to the ratings that AEW is doing as a new company. So they tucked their tail and ran away and moved to a different night because they didn't want to compete anymore. That's how well AEW has been doing in a 3-year span.
And so one of the wrestlers that started up this new company, Cody Rhodes, recently got poached by the WWE and brought one of the creators of the AEW, got him to come back to WWE. And Cody Rhodes, recently just won the Royal Rumble, which just happened this last weekend. Right?
He's
so
doing
he
it all
has
now.
a chance to fight for the championship at WrestleMania.
He already had it though, right?
The WWE championship?
Yeah, didn't he get it?
No, he's never had it. His father had the old school championship way back in the day, but he's never had a WWE championship, not a major one.
No, Vince McMahon has always hated Cody Rhodes and
he hates the Rhodes family.
So he's never allowed. He's basically made fun of them by giving them really bad storylines, and that's why Cody eventually left. But his new contract must have been good because he won in the Royal Rumble, and now he is going to go against Roman Reigns for the title belt. Right?
See, he did have a title match though against him already, right? At WrestleMania?
No. He just fought Seth Rollins as a surprise at WrestleMania last year. That was his debut back in the WWE. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
Yep. So yeah, good for Cody.
Yeah, good for Cody. Mm-hmm. And one more thing I wanted to mention, just since you're learning about AEW, that's the show I went to recently. I went and saw an AEW show, and it was phenomenal. But the thing I love most about AEW is Vince McMahon is very problematic. There's a lot of writers for WWE. The wrestlers don't have a lot of freedom.
Problematic. He's racist and sexist and piece of shit.
He's horrible. Makes business dealings with Saudi Arabia, all this shit. But AEW doesn't do any of that stuff and empowers their wrestlers and is very trans exclusive, inclusive, gay inclusive, people of color, like everything. They're inclusive on every level they can be. And it's beautiful to see a wrestling company not go for low-hanging fruit and be like, oh, he's gay, got to make a bad gay character out of him. And it's like, no, they can empower these people with their characters.
Yeah.
And so, like, they've had a trans woman wrestler as their women's champion. WWE would never do that. They'd never do that in a million years. And so it's really great to see a company go out there and do beautiful things for beautiful people. It's just great.
Do you ever see AEW Pro Wrestling come to your town? Go to the show. You'll have a good time.
Really good.
Let's see here. One more topic sounder we got. Where is this?
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't even know. That's weird.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
Why can't we talk about other topics?
Do we have any Smash Brothers news or any other topics or anything that we want to talk about?
Well, our notes just said that's what we just did was the other topic. But
that's kind of true.
We just finished other topics.
Well,
no, I don't believe I have any.
Okay.
No, I can't. I don't think there's any big news. No big.
How about you, Heather? You got any weird sports you want to talk about that you know of? Any more weird sports or anything?
Yeah, we just want to make sure I give everybody some space and.
Pickleball is really blowing up. I think that's weird.
Hey!
Yes, it is.
Pickleball.
It's super fun though.
Yeah.
You probably heard our episode.
I just had my mother's sister's son on. He's a big pickleball instructor. He loves the pickleball.
Oh man, you know who you should have on? My grandma, because she kicks ass.
For real.
She's so good at pickleball. I played with her this past summer and I was like out of breath. I couldn't breathe. I was running around the court and she just keeps going. She's like jumping and hitting it. I was just in shock.
Wow.
Could you show your grandma how to work Discord?
I don't know. She has issues figuring out Netflix sometimes.
How about this? Next time you see your grandma, do an interview with her as a professional pickleball athlete. Interview her
I
and
will.
send us the interview. Okay.
Wow. I need to check out this pickleball.
We're trying to get in on this pickleball fandom and be all about it because we know it's up and coming and we want to be right there.
Like,
so.
I think it's the young, like, she's been playing it for years, and she told me about it years and years ago, and I was like, I've never heard of that. That sounds weird. And now it's like getting popular among college students. There's a bunch of pickleball bars here.
Mankato just created a barn.
The pickle barn, yeah.
A pickle barn. Did you go to it when you were here last? I don't know if
no,
it was
open. No, it wasn't open yet.
Yeah.
We just played at Wheeler.
Weird. Oh, I need to check this. I need to check this sport out and figure it out.
It's actually really fun. It's like ping pong tennis.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Okay.
Just go down to Wheeler Park on like any morning and join in with the old people that are playing there.
Okay.
They'll love it.
That's what I should do.
Do they have candy to share?
No, my grandma doesn't.
Wait,
so
how does this song go again? Oh yeah. Memory. Trivia.
So this is Fuzzy Memory Trivia. When I ask Lee Hess a question, and then they answer the question with the correct or wrong answer. Unlike the Fuzzy Memory or
Fuzz question of the week.
Fuzz question of the week. There is one answer. So get it right and you get a point, and if you get it wrong, you don't lose any points. We just stay the same. And the current score is 1-1-1.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yell the answer.
Yell it if you know it.
Who was the first NBA player to shatter a backboard?
Magic Johnson.
Incorrect. Chuck Connors. Oh, I'm sorry.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Incorrect.
What?
Am I supposed to make a guess?
You don't have to. We can just move on. Chuck Connors.
Michael Jordan?
Nope, incorrect. Who was... Okay. Do you guys want me to allow everybody to have an answer, or do I just move on as soon as somebody says answer?
If we all yell them out, we all yell them out.
Yeah.
If no one does, whatever.
What female pitcher once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig?
Female pitcher?
Feather
Amelia
Fancy.
Earhart.
Jackie Mitchell.
Ah,
Wait, what was the answer to the first one?
Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
Oh, I don't even know that name.
Nope.
What African country was the first ever to qualify for a World Cup?
Ethiopia.
Egypt.
World Cup. Did you wait? Is Egypt the answer or the guess?
It's the answer.
Oh, I was gonna guess one.
What do the rings in the Olympics represent?
Continents.
That's a tie. That's a tie.
So the point goes to Heather then.
No.
2-2-1-0.
What sport starts with a tip-off?
Basketball.
Basketball.
That's a tie as well. I'm just gonna quit it here, guys. And that was.
Oh wait, how does this song go again? Oh yeah.
We ever had multiple ties?
So I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the score is 2-2-2.
2-2-2-2.
That sounds about right. And that brings us
Good job,
to
Heather.
the end of the episode.
Thanks.
Did we forget anything, guys? Did I forget anything? Well, I
Oh.
went through all the topic sounders now.
Oh man, I just remembered.
What?
What'd you remember?
What'd you remember?
Did you get like?
What do you remember?
I just remembered there's this cool graphic in our notes about rare baseball things happening, and
Oh yeah.
maybe it's
I forgot
just
I put
kind
that
of
in there.
Should we put
kind
a
of
pin in it?
fun meme thing, but I saw one of these that kind of struck out to me, right? 3 hits in an inning. And according to this graphic, they're saying this has happened only 3 times.
Okay, the graphic, the top of the graphic is a list of rare baseball stats and how often they occurred in MLB history.
Yeah, and so this one that stands out to me is just 3 hits in an inning
per one player.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
you're missing.
If a team got 3 hits in an inning, like hasn't that happened more than 3 times?
Yeah,
no,
it only happened in 3 times.
That means they'd bat 3 rounds.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
2 grand slams in an inning only happened once.
Wow.
There's only been 11 3-sack flies in a game.
Wow. By the same player? That's
been
amazing.
only 18.
Do you think that'd be more common?
4 home run games. There's been only 23 perfect games.
I was surprised to see that home run at first career at bats only 133. I've actually seen that happen 3 times. So that's surprising to me over all the years.
In all the years of baseball, since baseball's been around since 1900s, is what we said.
That's surprising though. That I'd think that would be more common because I've definitely seen that happen. I mean, I saw it happen last year with the Dodgers. So just surprising that that's only happened that many times.
Well, you're
Maybe
lucky.
it only happened last year.
Hopefully,
many times.
Hopefully, you went and got one of those tickets, those lottery ticket things.
Yeah.
Because
and his family was there, so it was really cool.
So we are at the end of the episode.
This was a good episode.
This was great.
Heather, did you expect you'd talk this much in the episode?
No, I don't think I did. I feel like I learned a lot and contributed.
Good.
Very much so.
A decent amount.
I really appreciate you wanting to be part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out.
You've been a great guest. You've been a great guest.
At the end of the episode, we like to share what we are planning on doing for the rest of the week. James, what you got going?
I'm working on a pilot for a new sitcom.
Oh, okay. Cool. C-dubs?
What am I going to do this week? I'm going to watch wrestling. I'm going to hang out with friends on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Heather,
what do you got going on? Any big plans for the...
We're in a winter storm warning.
Oh, we are
in
too.
Texas.
Oh.
So, but you know what? It's going to be, the warning is that it's going to be about 30 degrees and it might drizzle.
Ooh, yeah.
But that could take out your power, so that's not good there.
No, it could take out the power and it will wreck the road. So I'm planning on staying at home and doing schoolwork and hanging out with my cats.
Sounds like a great idea because those Texans, they do not know how to drive with that rain.
It's not even that. It's that they put sand on the roads instead of salt and it just makes it like slippery.
Oh, yeah.
Bad.
That doesn't sound good at all.
I'm terrified to drive here in the winter.
I would be too.
If you're not doing anything Wednesday and you're staying at home, we all get together and watch wrestling Wednesday nights. So you should join us for some hanging out and watching wrestling together. We do it over the Discord.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll have to try it.
No need to.
I've watched wrestling, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuzzy, what are you gonna do this week?
Fuzzy, what you gonna do?
I am going to probably keep doing fuzzy things and fuzzy stuff and get ready for next week's episode.
Oh, dude, nice.
FuzzJockRadio.
I feel like I can't miss right now, man, to be honest. I don't want to jinx myself, but right now I feel like I just can't miss. And, I put a lot of work in, man, so I'm happy it's showing.